Forget about the time warp behind me. We're going to get into some experiments and how to use UK dive lights for underwater video by diffusing their narrow spot beam. We got a little reef scene set up here. We got our L2 and L1, one with a diffuser on it, the clear diffuser. We're going to do a little experiment. We'll turn the lights out. It's not going to be all the way dark. We'll compare both the narrow beam, the diffuse beam, and see how the camera that's photographing this handles it. Okay, we don't have total darkness, but we don't need it for the experiment we're going to do. Okay, I've got the spot beam. Looking at it through the camera, you'll see that the subject matter is pretty much washed out. That's because the automatic exposure system is being overwhelmed by the super bright lights. And even if we did it manually, we'd have a hard time compensating for the intensity of the light in such a small area. Now we'll go ahead and look at the diffuse light. As you see with the diffuse light, you can see detail in all our subject. It works a lot better. The camera is able to compensate in its automatic function. Now, if you have a partner diving with you and you're taking video and he has a diffuse light, it'll help out too. Now, something that I found out that using this diffuse light, particularly in night diving, I kind of like it because it lights up the whole area and there's nothing hiding in the parameters around me. Like with the spot beam here, with the spot beam you've got all this dark area, and unless you search around with your light quite a bit, you really don't know what's out there. But with the diffuser, it covers more area. For the short distances of 10, 12 feet, you've got more viewing area. I've got some more things I've done with diffusers. We'll move on to that and I'll show you that. What I have here is some diffusers I've made. I've made them from some sheets of diffusing material I bought at Lowe's. One's opaque and one's clear. This diffusing material is used for architectural purposes in houses and businesses for diffusing the lights that are overhead. My first diffuser I made, I cut out, was this one right here to fit inside the lens and past the heat sink. It didn't work out very well. I tried one outside the rubber mount. It didn't work out very well. I tried even a dome, makeshift dome, and the dome sort of really scattered the light out with little spots of dark in between. Then I made an opaque one. And the opaque really worked out well. I fastened it to the front of the heat sink. It worked out so well that I went ahead and got a sheet of clear. I made the clear. Now, the experiment I just showed you with the narrow beam and the diffuse beam was used with the clear one installed. Now, you lose a few lumens, but you'll get a really good coverage for close-ups. And this here generally will work out fine. It'll diffuse that light out so that your camera's automatic metering system won't have the difficulties of the big differential between the spot beam and the other areas. And it'll diffuse that light all over. Now, I've got a new UK L2 here. I'm going to install this on there. I'll show you how it's done. It's relatively simple. Installing the diffuser onto the center it. I've got a piece of this material. This material is material from a wash bag in which they put fine clothes in and wash them with a nylon wash bag. Real fine mesh. Lay it on here like so. Easy does it. Kind of position it. Bring my Gorilla Tape down in one side and fasten it. Go to the other side and fasten it. Come down with this one and fasten it. This one and fasten it. Pop loose. Okay. We got the thing fastened on somewhat. Now I'll take some electrical tape. I'm using yellow this time. It's an old roll I have. Catch it. Pull down on it a little bit. Each one I pull down on. There, we have it fairly centered. Take a couple wraps of my electrical tape. And there we are. It's installed and it's ready to go. Now, something about this. If you got a partner diving with you and you're doing some video and he has a diffuser on his UK light, it's going to help your video out. So that's how we install it. It's pretty simple. You can undo the tape, take it off anytime you want. It takes a little effort. It's good to have a vise.